All right, what's going on, guys? Other Productions here, and welcome back to another episode of the Jackpot Road to Glory. And today, we're doing a little bit of a team update and just general discussion about where we're going to take the team, where we're going to take the Jackpot Road to Glory here as Season 2 of NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team approaches. Now, as it stands right now, Season 2 is almost here, and we're getting ever so closer to the 87 Jack Eichel. The 82's been one of my longest standing cards at 117 games played, 25 goals, 54 assists. He's been a phenomenal card for me, and I cannot wait to get his 87. He's going to be quite the upgrade for sure, but it's going to be kind of a bummer because I feel like that card, while right now it's definitely like in the power curve, I feel like it's slowly going to slip, by like December, but hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, well, maybe not by December, but like by the new year. But hopefully he'll be, a great card on this first line. Of course, with that being said, we did add in the new addition of Keegan Kolesar, and he's been pretty good so far. No complaints with me really too much. 3 games, 2 assists, which is kind of nice off the third line. But he did pick up 5 penalty minutes already, and that just goes to that 86 discipline. When he's got 92 body checking, 91 strength, 91 aggression, when I've laid people out with this card, it's either stopping the game because they're getting carted off the fucking ice, it's breaking glass, and we got to then, take a moment to pause and go into a face-off, or he's initiating a fight, taking a penalty. He's an absolute monster. And then, of course, we also picked up that Wildcard 84 Noah Hanifin, and this card's been really good too as well. 5 games on him already. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist, only 2 minutes of penalty time, so not too bad there. But he's a great card to have indeed. Obviously, with that 2-way defenseman activated is sweet. I'm hoping, though, Season 2 brings us more AP because I love to activate that shutdown. And as well, PK Subban's 1T would be a nice one to activate too over on his 86 because that would be a very, very useful synergy, especially like with this card. But with all that said, the discussion today comes to the third line defense and the fourth line offense. This is my account bound / untradeable line. You guys know I've talked about, and of most recently we had a discussion about maybe Patrick Kane off the charts card to replace Jack Hughes, but when sort of breaking it down with you guys, this Jack Hughes is honestly better skating stats, by the look of it. Shooting definitely a little bit more towards Kane, but pretty even. Hands are basically about the same, all at 90, but Hughes has him an inch taller and better defensive stats. That 90 discipline is really nice, even though I have picked up 2 penalty minutes with him. But 7 games played, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists for me so far. Dylan Guenther was the other one we talked about of maybe going to Teemu Selanne. Selanne would be a nice upgrade. Sure, he's 2 inches less in size at 6 foot, but he's got the 91 speed, nice speed boost, all 90 shooting, and goes even higher with the Sniper Ford activated, which I don't have it activated. If I did, Dylan Guenther, gets a nice boost there. But we get the boost in hands, we get the boost in checking, we get the boost in defense. And all around, it's just a good card. And, Guenther does go to all 90 shooting with Sniper Forward, and I think that Selanne goes to like 92. So, it would be quite the nice upgrade over Dylan Guenther. But one thing I just want to kind of break down with you guys, and actually I'm going to go back to the stats here real quick. Dylan Guenther has 116 games, 17 goals, and 15 assists, and this is all on the fourth line. Stamkos has 104, 19 goals, 16 assists. So he's got a little bit better ratio. He's got 35 points. Gunther's got 32 points. And that's all in roughly 110 games on average between the two played there, 116 and 104. So not really all that productive. Taking a look at Cole Schwindt, who has, I believe, exactly 110. Yeah, he has that 110 games played. He as well has the same amount of points contributions as Dylan Guenther at 32, 7 goals and 25 assists, just 3 off of the Steven Stamkos card. And sure, he's played on the third line, but it's left me to an idea that I want to bring attention. And that is going full Vegas, guys. I recently picked up Matthias Janmark's cover athlete card in gold Oscar Lindbergh. It's kind of hilarious that they both actually play on the same SHL team. But this Janmark card was a card initially I thought about getting earlier on in the series, but during that cover athletes promo, these cards were like 55, 60,000 coins. And I honestly forgot about it during all of the fantasy event craziness and supernatural event craziness until just recently I was exploring the auction house. And I saw one on a bid for 10K. I was like, oh my gosh, Janmark, I got to get him. And, well, that's what I did. I got him for 14,000 coins. And what that then led me to do was I picked up Nicholas Hague for the time being, and we'll flip-flop this over with the lefty on the right defenseman side and the right-handed player on the left defensive side, for the one-timer opportunities, but I picked up the off-the-charts Colin Miller that came out as well. He had a card that dropped too, and it basically led me to this. It led me to picking up Colin Miller and Nicholas Hague too. And with that, it's basically put together a full past and present, best possible kind of all-time Vegas squad for the time being. Obviously, I'd love to have like a McNabb here if he gets an upgrade milestone card soon, which would be amazing. But the big discussion I want to bring to you guys is over here with the team builders now. We have an 83 right defenseman, Derek England, and he can be done with trading in 16 77 plus cards of Vegas Golden Knights. I wish it could be any 77 plus, because if it was, I'd already have this done by now, because I have that sitting in just like untradeable cards in my binder. But 77 plus overall cards, and a minimum are going for about 7,000 coins. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I guess at a minimum, about 7,000 coins right there. And well, the reason for kind of bringing this up is you guys see the ones there. I have gone ahead and purchased a couple. I do still have that 80 Wildcard Barbashev, but I wouldn't add him into this. I'll save him for a collectible or token or something. But I got 4 cards right now, and I got that Nicholas Hague, and they were all for under 7,000 coins. And well, with 12 more of these cards, I can get that 83 Derek England to add to the squad. And that 83 Derek England is a very nice card. He comes with defensive defenseman, which gives him a nice boost in endurance and just really jacks up his defensive stats even more. My only worrisome is that 64 discipline, but I'm kind of getting used to that low discipline by using Kolesar and seeing how it affects. So it gives me an idea of how I need to play him on the defense. And I'd pair him up with, I think, Noah Hanifin would probably be my move there. And obviously with defensive defenseman, it only takes 2 players to activate that. So I can look at either keeping Nicholas Hague, who's also a beast in size at 6'6" at 240. He's basically like the Zdeno Chara for us. Or if McNabb does get a new card, he's also 6'4", like 220, another beast in size. And we could have some really strong defensemen around our whole lineup. And again, with that, Colin Miller would be the guy that kind of moves out. I only picked him up for 15,000 coins, so he honestly wasn't all that expensive. But to kind of give you guys a better visual here, we'll just use it with the blank. This is how the pairings would be. We'd have England here on the lefty, paired up with the Noah Hanifin. And then obviously we have, our Theodore Petrangelo line. And then, of course, our third line will be Hague or McNabb paired up with Subban. The other thing I want to bring up to you guys, though, is with the 86 PK Subban I pulled, is it time to cash out on him? I still have the 82, obviously, account-bound card from the Cover Athletes promo, and he was a very solid card for me. He had 90 games played. He got 36 points during that time, 6 goals, 30 assists. He was a good contributor to the squad. And I do have 2-way defenseman activated, but I luckily somehow manifested pulling that 86 off the charge card. I still can't believe I got that pull. That's the most insane thing. And the 86 has been lights out for me. With that said, he's got 32 games played. He's got a total of 22 goal contributions so far, 14 goals and 8 assists. So he's honestly, just on a way better pace right now than that 82 was. And that makes sense. But, is it time to maybe cash out of him, finish up getting the England, and, maybe just use that 82 Subban with whoever I have paired here, Hague or, whatever. It's just kind of the idea I'm sort of tossing around. But for, the current time being, we're going to use this Colin Miller until I can get that Derek England. And, well, once we get that card, then we'll have the discussion about, do I sell the off-the-charts Subban card? Now, what does that mean for the rest of the cards in the collection? What does that mean for other account-bound cards I get, these master set players I made, when I pull a crazy untradeable card like I did with Dylan Guenther early on? And, it's so crazy that Dylan Guenther, in literally the second episode of this whole thing, changed the way that this series went. Because initially, it was, I'm building, the best possible Vegas team I can. And, I currently have a group of guys that aren't fully Vegas, but we're going to get there. And, I pulled Guenther and I put him on the 4th line and created that, untradeable count-bound line. And Stamkos had his master set card out, and I had Martin St. Louis out of my starter pack. And I was so excited when I made Stamkos to pair him up with St. Louis. Stamkos is my all-time favorite player. And I'm really glad I got to use this card. And, during the Supernatural promo with the grind with Supernatural cards needed to be used to get fantasy collectibles and stuff, I was able to make Zdeno Chara for free. And again, really glad I got to make this card and use him for the time being. But is it time to just say goodbye and stop using these cards and basically stop building cards that aren't Vegas, that don't really give me that long run purpose? Yes, in a sense, they still do if I keep that fourth line and that third line going, but the rest would just basically become like fodder. And, for example, it's a bummer that there is this, account bound thing this year where, Stu Grissom is stuck to my account at an 84 rated. He could be traded in down the road for, 4 collectibles of his own. And I have the Subban and the Byram that are account bound. And the 3 of them I would trade in for, just 3 collectibles even. And that could help me build, say, a card for free. And I have, all these other cards, these off the charts cards, that Zaka card, and all these silvers to make tokens and other collectibles out of. And, everything here would just basically be fodder. And for the most part, still is, but, these account bound cards are just sort of stuck here. But rather than, say, like my team of the week, Mark Stone, buying him for, 180,000 coins, I have all this fodder saved up that I've just been pulling and everything. And I make him and I save the coins, and, we build him for free that way. And I still just kind of keep the coins as, a thought that's there. And that's just what I wanted to sort of discuss with you guys is, where do we go from here? Where do we go? It's, the last basically 2 weeks of season 1. We're getting ever so close to getting our 87 Jack Eichel. But is it time to, go full Vegas? Do we go full Vegas once I get that 87 Jack Eichel? That's how the offense would sort of look like. This is how the defense would look like. Of course, we want to get that team builders, England to add to the squad. But as soon as I get that 87 Jack Eichel within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, at maximum, is it time to go full Vegas? And that's just what I want to leave you with you guys here today, and sort of get your guys' thoughts on that. As I'm really curious to see how EA handles season 2. As some things need to change. Some things need to change for sure, especially with like the promo drops and everything. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this discussion. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all real soon with hopefully 87 Jack Eichel.